Last night it was another disappointing home opener for the Athletics. Seattle's #2 starter Jason Vargas worked nicely against the green and gold as the Oakland sellout crowd was silenced. The lone bright spot was the mammoth home run by Cespedes, measuring in at 462 feet and giving the ace faithful a reason not to miss another at-bat from the Cuban center fielder. Tonight it doesn't get any easier as the Athletics face the king. Ace Felix Hernandez takes the hill in the final game of this short two-game set. It's the A's and the Mariners next. Saturday Night Baseball coming up from the O.co Coliseum. It's game 2 of this short two-game series. Bartolo Colon pitched terrific in his first outing in Japan, and he will start tonight against Felix Hernandez. So the A's counting on Colon to come up big this year. It's the A's and the Mariners on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. You saw Bartolo Colon and Felix Hernandez tonight, Ray. No secrets here. He's made 22 career starts against the Athletics. He's very good, and the A's saw him in Japan, and he was good there.
You know, the amazing thing about it, Dustin Ackley hit a home run early in the game against Brandon McCarthy, and you think Felix Hernandez only needs one run, but the A's came back and tied it immediately. This young man can create things on the mound. He kind of invents pitches. He moves the ball around. He has a two-seam fastball, a great changeup, great breaking ball, and I think a lot of times he just toys with the hitters. He is so good, so confident that he believes that he can get anybody out. Of course, he's had a lot of success against the A's, like you said.
And Bartolo Colon, just calm, cool, collected. Really exactly what a young pitching staff needs. And boy, did he put on a show in Japan.
I think what Bob Melvin said, does this guy even have a heartbeat? Because he goes out there, pitches so calmly. He used a fastball for about the first 45 pitches. He just moved the ball around. Great two-seam fastball inside of the lefties, moving it. He'll also throw it backdoor to the righties, bringing it back over the plate. He has tremendous movement, great confidence, and you watch him pitch. If you're a youngster, like you said, you watch his every move because he definitely knows how to pitch at this level.
So we are looking forward to the pitching matchup, Colon and Hernandez, in game 2 of this series. Last night, you were not safe if you were in the outfield luxury suites. Yoenis Cespedes, a 462-foot home run. Look out. Can he do it again tonight? We'll find out. Lineups and first pitch when we come back. A's Mariners coming up.
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
The A's take the field, getting set for the final game of this two-game series. A's and the Mariners. Mariners winning last night by a final score of 7-3. A's will try to get a win tonight. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open for spring break now through April 15th. It's 60 degrees. It's a nice night. Maybe a little warmer than last night. It's a Coliseum kind of night as Bartolo Colon starts his warm-up tosses. Let's look at the Seattle Mariners lineup tonight that will face Colon, Figgins, Ackley, Suzuki, Smoke, Montero, Seager, Olivo, Saunders, and Kawasaki. Minori Kawasaki, who was a late addition to the lineup. Brendan Ryan was in the original lineup, but he's not in there.
And the veteran Bartolo Colon on the mound for the Athletics. You look at his start against the Mariners in Tokyo. Retired the first 13 of the face. Jesus Montero with a base hit to right field. But as we noted in the open, just basically knows how to pitch. Fastball, he'll work both sides of the plate. Very good two-seam fastball. A lot of movement, a lot of confidence, and he likes pitching here at the Coliseum.
Defensively for the Athletics, Chris Cespedes, Reddick, left, center, and right. Sogard gets the start tonight at third. Then Pennington, Weeks, and Brandon Allen over at first. Kurt Suzuki catches Colon. So you got the pitcher, you got the defense, you got the lineups, and we are set to go. Bartolo Colon kicks, and the first pitch of the ball game is a bit outside.
First pitch, 6:07.
Well, we saw Brandon McCarthy last night in his second start, the same time off in between starts, and as he said, he could not believe that he had the stuff that he did. Not even close to what he had in Tokyo, and let's hope Bartolo Colon is as good as he was there. But Brandon McCarthy last night just didn't have the quality stuff that he did show in Tokyo, but still pitched very well. Got the ground balls. Unfortunately, sometimes it didn't work out.
2-1 to Sean Figgins. The umpires tonight, Brian O'Nora will call balls and strikes. Tom Hallion is the crew chief, and he is down at third after being behind home plate last night. So Figgins and then Ackley and then Ichiro Suzuki here in the first inning, and now 2-2 is the count. Figgins was tough on the A's last night. He was 3 for 4, knocked in a couple of runs, scored a run. Well, the big right-hander kicks, and the 2-2 pitch. And that one's lined softly foul up over the bullpen mound.
Well, as a hitter facing Bartolo Colon, in that case, there the fastball outside, and Figgins just protected by fouling it off. But Bartolo uses both sides of the plate, like we mentioned, and if you're a hitter, you really don't know what to do, especially on the pitch inside with the movement Bartolo has coming back over the corner or middle part of the plate. The great two-seamer pushing the hitter off the plate. They're going to back it up with another one outside this time.
That one's hit hard but foul again. So the count remains 2-2. Colon to Figgins. Figgins is 3 for 9 in his career against Bartolo Colon. Off speed pitch. Took him to like third inning throwing off speed pitch in Japan. What was the number? First 25 pitches were fastballs. I believe that's what Kurt Young said.
Well, with Figgins in Tokyo, he took just 4 pitches. This is an extended at bat, 8th pitch coming up. So you have to start creating or changing location and velocity.
That one down the right field line. That could be trouble, and it is. It drops just fair. Figgins digging for second. He will hit the bag there. He's going to try for third. Weeks' throw is just a little bit late, and it's a leadoff triple for Sean Figgins. Landed about a foot fair.
Yeah, came back or tried to go inside. as Suzuki set up in there, but ball just really a good at bat by Figgins because it had pretty good movement on the inside corner. But after fouling off 3 pitches with a couple of strikes, got one to his liking and just inside the line. And with his speed, once it hit where it did, it was almost an automatic triple. The A's did make it somewhat close, but Figgins running like he did prior to last year.
So here's Dustin Ackley, who's off to a good start. 5 hits total in the first 3 games. 3 of those coming last night. He was 3 for 5 and scored a run. I think we're going to have the privilege, Ray, of seeing these 2 very fine young second basemen, Ackley for the Mariners and Jemile Weeks for the A's, for a long time going up against each other. Hit hard 2 weeks. A one hopper. He thought about throwing home. Figgins is going to score, and it's an RBI groundout for Ackley. It was a one hopper, which allowed Weeks to at least maybe think about a play at the plate, but instead he goes to first, and the Mariners lead 1-0.
Other than the fact that it's the first out of the game, sure, it's tempting to take a chance because the ball was hit so hard, but also look where Jemile's playing in the outfield grass. It would have taken a strong, perfect throw to get Figgins. And he was going on contact as soon as the ball, well, a little surprised that he even hesitated, and maybe that's why Jemile thought about going to the plate.
So Ackley gets his 3rd RBI of the season.
You know, watching Figgins on that replay, he might have thought, because the ball was hit so hard, that Weeks would come to the plate. And with that slight hesitation for both Weeks and Figgins, there's no doubt Weeks made the right play. Get the sure out. Don't open up a big inning possibly in the first.
Toward left field on the run is Coco Crisp, and he makes the catch. And that is out number 2. Straddling the line, Coco makes the play.
Did they ever call it fair or foul?
I don't believe
Tom Hallion did anything. He just,
usually they do.
Let's see if we can see what he might do, but usually the umpire will indicate whether it's fair or foul.
We can tell you that it wasn't out. So here's Justin Smoke. First pitch to the switch hitting Smoke. In for a strike. He's got 1 hit this year, and that was the home run off Cologne. 1 for 13.
That was an opposite field line drive in the 7th inning. High fastball, one of the few that Bartolo Colon elevated, and Smoke with his power going opposite field, something Josh Reddick tried to do the previous night, could not get it up high enough to get it into the seats. That was short-lived because that was the top of the 7th. The A's scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th and won the 2nd game.
Well, in that game for Cologne, he retired the first 13 hitters he faced, gave up a single then in the 5th inning, and then the home run to Smoke leading off the 7th inning. Ended up going 8 innings, allowing just 3 hits. Swing and a miss. So Smoke strike out, but Sean Figgins a leadoff triple, Ackley the ground out, and the Mariners get a run in the top of the 1st. Of the first inning, Jemile Weeks is going to lead it off for the Athletics. He'll be followed by Coco Crisp, Josh Reddick, Cespedes, Seth Smith, Kurt Suzuki, Cliff Pennington, Brandon Allen, Eric Sogard. So a couple of changes for Bob Melvin's Athletics lineup tonight. And we may see some changes as Bob kind of searching for the right mix in that lineup, and it may take a while. Not uncommon this time of year. So Weeks faces Felix Hernandez. 3 for 13 to start the season for Jemile. There's a strike. Jemile was 2 for 5 last night. He hits this one pretty well. Figgins going back, still going back at the warning track with his back to the wall, or his back to home plate, I should say. He makes the catch.
Felix Hernandez, 12 games he has defeated the Athletics as a starting pitcher, although the Mariners in his starts have had better success than that. But over 200 innings again last year. Of course, the one start in Tokyo. He went 8 innings. He gave up just 1 run and no decision as the A's came back and tied the game after his club on the Dustin Ackley home run. Came back and tied it in the 4th inning on a Kurt Suzuki double, RBI double.
23rd career start for Hernandez against the Athletics. He's 12-4 in his career, including 5-2 here at the Coliseum. And like most pitchers who come up young and have a lot of success, probably doesn't throw quite as hard as he did maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It seems like he has more pitches to go to now than he did when he first came up.
Believe me, he is good enough. He does not need help from an umpire on pitches that are close, but a reputation usually goes to the pitcher's side, especially the reputation that Felix has in the league.
Coco, a weak swing, and that's the first strikeout for Hernandez. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first for Josh Reddick. Defensively for the Mariners tonight, Figgins, Saunders, and Ichiro Suzuki in the outfield. Seager, Kawasaki, Ackley, and Smoke on the infield. Miguel Olivo once again behind the plate. Munenori Kawasaki is the shortstop. A late addition. Did we hear anything on Brendan Ryan why he was scratched? About a half hour before the game, he was taken out of the lineup. We have not heard.
Kawasaki has so much energy. Eric Wedge probably said playing, so we can get him off the bench.
And we're told a stiff neck for Brendan Ryan, so he'll get the night off. And Kawasaki will be at shortstop.
You know, the NHK televised in Tokyo, and I was watching the monitor. They kept showing Kawasaki. They showed Ichiro, which is understandable,
sure,
but Kawasaki's smart enough. He's going to sit beside Ichiro. Figured he was on camera the entire game, and there he would go down from the dugout to the outfield to warm up the outfielders. He'd sprint, get standing ovation from the hometown crowd. So the Mariners, 3 Japanese-born players, 2 position players, 1 pitcher. So they had a lot of excitement for the Mariners in Tokyo.
Strike 2-2 to Reddick. Reddick 3 for 11 with a home run so far this season.
Well, the A's, as Reddick and the first 2 hitters in the game left-handed. Only Suzuki and Cespedes are the right-handed hitters facing the right-handing pitching Felix Hernandez.
On deck, Yoenis Cespedes. Close pitch, a bit inside, so a full count to Josh Reddick.
A lot of times on a 3-2, you might think about getting a fastball. Unlikely with King Felix. He has such an assortment of pitches. Be surprised if you get a 4-seamer.
And a good one, and Reddick stays alive.
asked Eric Wedge, I said, when you put Felix Hernandez's name in the lineup, do you sit on the bench thinking that here's the win? And he said, not only do I, but his teammates do it as well, because they figure if they can get him a run or two, the way he pitches, he can usually shut down the offense of the other ball club.
Nasty stuff there. Reddick strikes out. Couple of strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. The A's go 3 up, 2 down in the bottom of the first. Inning. Jesus Montero to lead it off. He'll be followed by Kyle Seager and Miguel Olivo against Colon. It was a Figgins triple to lead off the game, and then Ackley with a ground out, and that's how the run was scored. Weeks handles a tough hop. Montero is retired.
One pitch, one out here at top of the second. A's fans come to the Coliseum Sunday, April the 22nd, when the A's play the Indians. 7,500 kids will receive an A's mini license plate driven by Chevrolet. Let your kids show they're the #1 A's fans on the block. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Busy weekend when the Indians come to town. Here's Kyle Seager, who had a good night last night. A couple of hits and a couple of RBIs for Seager. Also walked, so he was on base 3 times. Brandon Allen shuffles to his left. He's got it, 2 outs.
Yeah, it's possible Bartolo Colon walked into the dugout and said, okay, guys, that's it. That's all I'm giving up. If you have a chance and you can score some runs off Felix, we have a chance to win, but I'm finished. No more, no mas. But the way he pitched the first inning, he looks like he's up for it.
See, after that ground out to first, where Colon went over to possibly cover first base. As soon as the play ended, Kurt Suzuki was standing on the mound, waiting for Colon, and Bartolo, being the veteran it is, walked back to the mound. Kurt gave him a little extra time to catch a breather. So a veteran move on both parts.
Well, Kurt Suzuki has learned over time that whenever a pitcher does cover, it's just that energy that you wouldn't think running from the mound to first base, but it's a sprint, and just don't like to see the pitcher get back on the mound breathing heavily after making that quick sprint. So Kurt's good idea just to buy a little bit extra time. After all, it's a 6:05 first pitch.
We got lots of time tonight. Three and 1 to Miguel Olivo, 1 for 12 on this season. Cologne slowly hit to the left side. Sogard has it. Flips to first, and Cologne has a 3-up, 3-down inning. 3 ground ball outs. Cespedes to lead it off. When we come back, 1-0 Seattle. Well, last night, what a show by Yoenis Cespedes. This is one of the longest home runs I've seen.
Well, that's sweet that it hit. My son-in-law was there and said, incoming, it's coming our way. Look out, and right above the seat.
Protecting the family.
But it was a shot, and as soon as it took off, I said, I know who's sitting there. But you're right, and
it hit above.
Yeah.
That concrete piece there above. Yeah.
And it was just an unbelievable shot. And you saw Vargas kind of looking at Cespedes, because as he mentioned through Ariel Prieto that maybe he took a little bit too much time at home plate. But I think someone said it best. When you hit a ball that hard and that far, you watch it, because he may not do it again. He will probably, maybe even farther. But Eric Wedge said nothing was said. It's not like it's the first time it ever happened where a hitter hit a home run and stood and watched it. Doesn't mean pitchers don't get upset, which they should.
0-1 to Cespedes. Interesting, hitting fourth. So this is the 4th game of the year, Ray. He's gone from 7th to 6th to 5th to 4th. So by Wednesday, he's going to be leading off.
Don't think so. First major league hit came off Felix Hernandez, a double to right center. Ball that jumped off his bat. Saunders couldn't track it down.
Cespedes 3 for 10 on the season with the 2 home runs and the double. Fastball inside. So it'll be interesting. So the 1-2 pitch, a fastball inside. And now we'll see what Hernandez tries to do with the count 2-2.
Thing is, he never has to back up on the same pitch. He can change different locations, pitches. There it is.
That one down around the shoe tops, swing and a miss. Well, here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. It has to do with long home runs. Remember this? It was 2000. Sal Fasano against the Giants. He hit one up in that area. I don't think it was quite as far as the Cespedes home run, but it broke the glass of the luxury suite. I think it hit the luxury suite just right in the corner, and it cracked the window. Sal Fasano against Sean Estes. So that was a long time ago, but we remember that home run.
And when you look at Cespedes and Sal Fasano, you think, you know, same type of player.
No question. 5-2.
Where Sal is right now. All I remember when Sal was with the Orioles and Bobby Crosby was playing, Sal catching and play at the plate.
That's right.
All he did is just put his body on the plate.
Thought he got hurt.
He broke his ankle, I think. He just slid into him, and Sal was like a brick wall. Didn't move. Good guy. Catcher, of course.
Yeah. Smart. 1-1 to Seth Smith, who's 2 for 5 on the year. Had an RBI single last night in a pinch hitting role. Hits that one hard, and that's a base hit to right field. So after retiring the first 4 in the game, Hernandez gives up the hit to Smith.
Well, there's no doubt the A's are going to get a chance to see a very good hitter in Seth Smith. Last night, a very good at bat at a pinch hit role, and tonight backs it up. High leg kick, stayed back, and a little movement on a pitch from Felix Hernandez that found the hole on the right side. Guy knows how to hit, and especially once he adapts to the DH role and consistent basis. He and Johnny Gomes getting an opportunity at this point to platoon.
So Kurt Suzuki off to a little bit of a slow start, 1 for 13. See that one at 91 miles an hour, but you get sinking action.
I think he stuck out Cespedes on a changeup, 86-mile-an-hour changeup that just went straight down.
One and one the count to Kurt Suzuki.
You mentioned Suzuki off to a slow start. The one hit coming against Felix Hernandez and did drive in a run. But I think with all the time off, the 2 games in Tokyo, 8 days off, then 2 games tonight, tomorrow off, 3 games, a day off. I think what the players need is to get in that consistent playing every day. You get too many off days early in the season. You need them more in the second half after you've played a half of the season.
And they, of course, had the big break in between the Tokyo series, but they'll have tomorrow off, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday play, and then Thursday off. And then they jump into a stretch starting with that road trip where I believe it's 19 games in 20 days. So that's where it'll really start to sink in. Center field, Michael Saunders is under it. So that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. Looking ahead just a little bit, of course, 3-game set against the Royals, and then the road trip is the weekend in Seattle, and the 13th will be the home opener for the Mariners, and then a 4-game series in Anaheim, so a 7-game trip. And then the Indians come to town for a 3-game weekend set on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Stretching that out just a little bit. Soon after that, the A's will have a very long road trip to the East Coast. 3 in Baltimore, 3 in Boston, 3 in Tampa, with a day off in Tampa. So he's heading to the East Coast for the first time.
Cleveland Indians in town. They have played 2 games. They played Thursday and today. They've played 28 innings, 2 extra inning games, 16 and 12. 16 on opening day. Many chances to win. They lost. And
Pennington hooks it foul. So they're glad they had that day off in between then.
Well, they always do. They play in case it rains or snows, as the Eastern Division teams do. They happen to be in the Central, but more towards the east part of the country. And 16 innings. And then today, Asdrubal Cabrera tied it in the 9th, and then they lost in 12. So the Blue Jays off to their good start. Looks like the Orioles playing the Twins. They won their opener.
0-2 to Pennington. Well, the Blue Jays will be an interesting team to watch this year. One of those great preseason debates. Do they have enough to be a legitimate contender in the difficult AL East? They have built a pretty nice young team in Toronto. See if they got enough to be a factor.
Now the Red Sox have lost 2. The Yankees on the verge of losing their second. But it is early. You never count even the Red Sox, who last year. Of course, failed in September, but they started the season, didn't win a game on the road till they came west.
That's right. I think they started 0-6, right?
Terry Francona, just like what they did in September, he decided to go on the television. Started being an analyst, at least for a year. I think he took Bobby Valentine's job and took over the Red Sox.
One and two to Pennington. Just missed. Well, that Bobby Valentine managing the Red Sox, that's going to be something to watch all year.
Backdoor slider just did not make it. Came around the plate enough. Felix thought maybe he had strike three. He started the dugout, but Nora didn't like the call. In fact, it did come around the plate just a bit.
Missed again. So now full count, and that will get Seth Smith on the move. Brandon Allen would be next if Pennington can get aboard. Runner goes. The ball's sliced to left field. Figgins gets over there, and he's got it side retired. Hit a runner left. We are on to the third. 1-0 Seattle.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Pepsi Max.
California is brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Provident Credit Union's super reward checking is better than free. They pay you. 1-0. The Mariners leading the Athletics. It is the third inning. Saunders, Kawasaki, and Figgins. Fastball inside corner strike. Colon is not afraid to go inside with that fastball. He uses a little tailing action against the left-handed hitters. And lefties haven't swung at that pitch in about 100 years, so if it's a pitch you can make, you get a lot of outs. Saunders 3 for 10 on the season. Could be a play for Sogard. And that's a Coliseum out right there. Saunders is just standing there. He can't believe it.
Bartolo Colon, Memorial Day last season, and he was almost perfect. 9 innings of shutout baseball, and unbelievable performance by Bartolo Colon. Just sat at the end of the dugout and looked up at the camera and said, "Yeah, I'm here," and just kept going out and pitching, and he was great.
Well, he started that 2011 season in the Yankees bullpen. He made 3 relief appearances, and then they put him in the rotation. Ended up making 26 starts, went 8 and 10. He was really good in the first half, struggled some in the second half. Missed some time with injury, but certainly proved that he could still be a quality starter. Here he faces Minenori Kawasaki. First year playing in the United States. 11 years in Japan, and bunts this one, but it trickles foul. Kawasaki is 30 years old, 5'10", 165 pounds. Not much of a home run hitter, but he's fast.
He's got some energy. I think when somebody says you make coffee nervous, that means you've got some energy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Everybody was very happy with him that he made the club, and tonight gets the start.
Slaps that one foul. On deck, Figgins. On the ground, Pennington has it. Quickly to first, and that's out number 2. Kawasaki is retired. Well, I guess
Number 9.
he play in Tokyo?
No.
So that was his first major league at bat, and we should have made a bigger deal out of it.
Well, I just like the way he shook his hands.
That was his first major league at bat. In the United States.
And if Brendan Ryan was okay, he'd still be looking for his first AB.
Change up in for a strike to Figgins, who tripled and scored in the first. Colon came inside on Figgins, kind of down and in, and he lined one down the right field line.
And I think Figgins just guessed correctly on that ball, because he had been moving the ball inside and out, the fastball, and took him 8 pitches, and finally looked for and got the fastball. Looked like a pretty good pitch, was still able to turn on it. .35 on the sleeve of the Mariners. Of course, first year in Seattle, 1977. So 35 years later, here they are in a brand new yard. 35 years. Great Hall of Famer Dave Niehaus, of course, passed away before last season. Started, first broadcaster, was there until his unfortunate death. My oh my,
yeah.
Dave Niehaus.
Good pitch. Strike 3 called inside corner. Second strikeout for Colon. He has retired 9 in a row after the leadoff triple.
Parking Tuesdays, every Tuesday home game, with the exception of premium games and dual events at the arena. You'll pay nothing to park courtesy of Chevy. See your Northern California Chevy dealer for their award-winning lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and crossovers. For more information, visit oaklandathletics.com/Tuesday. Steve Finella telling me about almost every day there's something going on during the week. Of course, great promotions during the weekends and fireworks. There are 5 of them. Good time. Come out to the Coliseum and watch A's baseball, and maybe take home a souvenir, or get to watch a great game of baseball. Fireworks after a game. Mike you on camera.
Does it get any better than that?
Just woke him up. Oh, he's ready all the time.
0-1 to Brandon Allen, 0 for 4 so far this season. Allen and Kaihui have been started 2 games now. We'll make a decision real soon. It's Derek Barton playing down in AAA. Derek Barton is eligible to come off the disabled list tomorrow. That's probably not going to happen, but certainly could happen next week at some point. Barton very close to being healthy, and when he does get healthy and feels like he's ready to go, it's very possible that he will get put in the lineup. We shall see. I would say the best thing for Allen or Kaihui to do is to get real hot quickly. And it does not happen there. A swing and a miss. So 4th strikeout for Hernandez. Time now for a Ford right choice. This was one of our favorite moments. Look who's pitching, Bartolo Colon, and this was a monster home run. And it was Brandon Allen. It was August 23rd of last year. 3rd deck up there at the new Yankee Stadium. Remember, he hit another one too, so he hit 2 that day.
Bartolo didn't even look.
He probably doesn't even remember it.
He probably doesn't, and he didn't care how far it went. All he knew was a home run.
High strike call to Eric Sogard. But it did have the stadium buzzing, and a lot of people talked about it the next day as well, how far that home run went off the bat of Brandon Allen. I guess that's the intriguing part with Allen, is he does have the terrific power. But to hit the ball at the ballpark, you got to make some contact, and that has been a little bit of an issue for Brandon Allen. One and 2 to Eric Sogard.
Well, the only thing that helps when Felix Hernandez goes a little bit deep in the count, 2-2 to Brandon Allen, now 2-2 to Sogard. Ideally, you try to get his pitch count up where he's out of the game at 7 innings.
Big chopper. Kawasaki charges, flips it to first on the run. Out number 2. Well, that same day at Yankee Stadium when Allen hit the home runs, Eric Sogard hit one as well, and he hit it off Colon. Same night, I should say. Lofted one down the right field line, kind of like he did over in San Francisco in the exhibition game the other night. But his first at bat tonight, a ground out to short.
I think it was the next night or in that series that Coco Crisp hit a 3-run home run this game, and so a lot of good things happening in that series in New York.
Except that one day.
Well, that's
that getaway day that I just pretend that game didn't happen. Liner into the glove of Ackley side, retired. 5-0 retired by Hernandez, and we're moving on to the 4th. Still 1-0 Seattle. Dominican-born pitchers, all-time in both wins and strikeouts. Which two players are ahead of him? Bartolo Colon. He's 38. He'll be 39 in the month of May. 162 career wins for Colon.
Is the Dominican dandy one of them?
I believe he is. That would make sense.
Yeah, should be.
Ackley, Ichiro, and Smoke against Bartolo Colon.
Great setup by Ackley. He's open stance, but watch his first move. He's got everything going towards the pitcher. And watching him last night, getting on top of some low fastballs and hitting them hard, but open stance. But then as soon as the pitch, watch it, just everything towards the pitcher, and he's ready to hit. Hits it hard.
Pennington tips off his glove, and Ackley's going to be aboard with another hit.
About a couple of catchers doing some work without their catcher's mitt. Recker on the left and Kurt Suzuki on the right, and showing their talent. The only difference is kind of interesting that you notice that every time they catch the ball, the palm is down.
Which is something that you actually preach against, right?
Well, especially pitches that are down, because if you turn your palm up, you bring the ball up. If you turn it down, you usually take it out of the strike zone. But it's a good hand-eye coordination that they were working on there. But it has changed to where you see a lot of catchers who will catch the ball, and the palm actually is going down towards the ground.
Ichiro steps in with Ackley aboard at first. Ackley looks like he's going to be a very good hitter. Not a huge stolen base threat. He had 6 last year in 90 games. This time in the minor leagues did not steal a lot of bases. Cespedes now has to go back, and it goes over his head. He came in a couple steps and could not get back in time, and they're going to wave home Ackley. He'll score. The throw to third is late, and it's a 2-0 Mariners lead as a misplayed ball by Yoenis Cespedes helps the Mariners get the run.
Center fielders will tell you that the toughest play is a line drive hit right at you, trying to judge when it's coming right at you. And this is a ball that should have been caught, but Cespedes actually broke in and then could not, even with his speed, break back quickly enough to get to the ball. And with the speed, at that point, just simple misplay. And Ackley, let's see if he touches second when he gets to the bag.
Right on top.
Yep, right on top. It's very slippery on top, and he almost fell down.
So Ichiro, a triple and an RBI. So Justin Smoke steps in. Broken bat, shallow right. And that is going to drop for a hit. Ichiro trots in to score, and it's 3-0 Seattle. The infield was in. It remains to be seen if the infield was playing normal position, if Weeks would have had a chance to catch it. It fell perfectly.
Well, the reason they were in is because you do not want to give a lot of runs to Felix Hernandez, and the ball was in the air a long time. You have to respect the power of Smoke. And you see the distance between the infield and the outfield, and it was perfectly placed. Probably could have been caught by Weeks, but again, that's a manager's choice and a smart play by Bob Melvin to again try to hope for a ground ball from Colon off the bat of Smoke, but just didn't happen.
So a single, a triple, and a single. 2 runs in for Seattle. That one toward right. Reddick is under it. Jesus Montero is retired.
Well, last night Josh Donaldson, a bunt and throw into Figgins, hit him in the back, and then transfer. Fortunately, that was an out. This was an out also on the transfer from the catcher's mitt. And Alberto a little slow getting to the bag. And that was a ball that probably should have been handled by Weeks. Kaihui broke a little bit too far to his right, and rightfully so, Bob Melvin said, a sloppily played game.
He's made the one error on Donaldson. A couple more defensive mistakes, but 3 unearned runs last night. Outside to Kyle Seager, who grounded out to Brandon Allen in the second inning. Mariners jumped ahead 4-0 last night with a 4 spot in the third. Tonight they lead 3-0.
That pitch on the lefty is unbelievable. Just the type of pitch he's throwing, the movement. Seager on the 2-0.
Reddick coming in, and he's going to play it on the short hop. Keeps it in front of him. So it's going to be a base hit for Seager, and that is hit number 4 in the inning. So Reddick did well to keep the ball in front of him when he realized he was not going to be able to catch it.
Now batting, number 30, Miguel Olivo.
So that'll bring up Miguel Olivo. So a tough inning so far for Bartolo Colon.
That was reminiscent of Paul O'Neill. Almost well, he kicked the ball.
He got it out though, didn't he?
He would have kicked it. So frustrated, he just kept kicking it.
Olivo grounded out to Sogard to end the second inning. In his career against Cologne, Olivo is 1 for 12. Smoke at second and Seager at first. Outfield straight away. And that's a base hit to left field. Here comes Smoke. They're waving him home. Coco's throw is just a bit late, and it's now a 4-0 Mariners lead. Olivo gets his first RBI of the season. The teams will always challenge Coco's throwing arm, and that's what Justin Smoke did on that play.
Well, his ground ball also, so Jeff Dat's a third base coach. It's not like it was a line drive and the runner at second had to hesitate to make sure the ball was going to go through. Ball hit on the ground, so the runner, Justin Smoke, took off on contact.
So Kurt Young with a visit with Cologne. There is no movement out in the
Now
A's
batting,
bullpen.
number 55, Michael Saunders.
So 4 singles and a triple in the inning. Michael Saunders steps in to hit. Losing pitcher last night, Brandon McCarthy. 5 innings. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Cologne at 91 miles an hour. Right up around the letters. There's the 3 unearned runs from last night's game. Good pitch there, and it's 0-2 to Saunders. The old baseball book says guys who are tall and have long arms pitch them inside. Do you buy into that all the time, right?
Well, most hitters in general like to extend their arms, but you're right. If long arms, it's very hard to pull the hands in to get the good part of the bat on the ball. So the extension is what they're looking for.
That one was out over the plate. A pitch to hit on 0-2, but Saunders pops it up. Pennington takes care of it for out number 2. So Saunders got one on 0-2 and he missed it. So Cologne gets the out. Here comes Kawasaki.
Now batting, number
It's
61.
Ichiro. Oh, no. He's stretching like
Well, if
Ichiro.
you're going to copy somebody, you may want to copy Ichiro.
I hope he didn't wear 51 in Tokyo. That's a tough number to ask for.
Seager at second, Olivo at first. Short hop, tough hop past Pennington. Coco's throw to the plate is a bit wide, hits the runner. Everybody's safe and everybody's going to move up. So Kawasaki with the RBI hit. It's now 5-0. So Seager slid in and the ball looked like it hit Seager and then kicked away.
Well, this is his second at bat, which means then that's his first hit. And a bullet, and Cliff Pennington trying to do the backhand, come up with it, could not. Ball thrown in the dugout of the Mariners. So contact and the runner on the move, and I think you're right, with Cologne just a little bit late backing up. Maybe didn't think there was going to be a play at the plate, as it turned out. It's the first major league hit for Kawasaki, and
that would be his first major league RBI as well. It goes as a single RBI and an error on the throw, which skipped away, and that allowed Olivo to go to third, Kawasaki to go to second. So a very difficult inning for Cologne and the Athletics. Ninth man to hit. Four runs are in on 6 hits in this inning alone. The frustrating part is going into this inning, Cologne had retired 9 in a row.
And finished off Figgins last inning on the good fastball inside corner, one of the better two-seamers that he had thrown.
That one drilled. That's trouble down the right field line, and it hits at the base of the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Figgins with a double. 7-0 Seattle.
And the fastball inside, and once again, as he did in the first inning, pulled it this time, almost made it out. But Figgins hitting at the base of the wall, it hit so hard it really got to the ball, and Figgins could only get the double. That's all he needed, especially with 2 outs.
So here's Ackley, who takes a bit high. So Figgins a double and a triple tonight. Blevins quickly up and quickly getting loose. 6 runs in the inning. That one didn't miss by much. Cologne thought it was a strike, but it's 2-0 to Ackley, who is knocked in a run with a ground out. That was in the first inning, and he led off this inning with a base hit and scored. Pennington has it, straightens up, side retired, major damage done, a 6 spot for the Mariners. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Seattle 7 and the A's nothing. Our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Mark from Mountain View asked, at the beginning of a season, is a non-injured starting pitcher on a conservative pitch count?
Conservative?
Conservative pitch count. I don't think so.
Well,
they maybe watch it a little bit.
They try to build up. Let's say you start the season out of spring training, a normal spring training, unlike this year when
Coco with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fourth.
But the A's knew they had to get two pitchers basically ready to start the season in Tokyo on the 28th, 29th. But if you have a normal spring training, you get your pitch count up to about 100 by your last start, then there's really nothing to hold a pitcher back. Just watch him, and as he approaches the 100, then you start thinking about it. But that means he should be able to go 6-7 innings minimum.
Felix Hernandez threw 104 pitches against the A's in that first start in Tokyo. And it could possibly depend who you're dealing with as well. Felix Hernandez handle a very high pitch count.
See, Vargas at 91, 5 1/3. He was in the 80s in Tokyo in his first start.
But the goal, like you said, Ray, is that final exhibition start, whatever it may be for a starting pitcher. Want to get to about 100.
And sometimes it depends on the pitching coach and the pitcher, and maybe they'll back off a little bit. But you know, the bottom line, they're just building up in spring training, so the 100 pitch mark is kind of the benchmark.
Kawasaki dives. He cannot come up with it cleanly. Did a nice job to keep it in the infield, but it's going to be a hit for Reddick.
Now, if he comes up with it, he might get Coco at second and a force out. That would have been the only play, but Reddick, like Coco Crisp, who went up the middle, Reddick goes opposite field, and Kawasaki just could not come up with it cleanly. Closed his glove, and there was the ball. So he reached in, and because it was not in his glove, could not handle it.
So an opportunity for the A's here against Hernandez in the bottom of the fourth inning. You don't always get a lot of opportunities against him, so it's vital to do something when you do get one. So Cespedes steps in, 2 on, nobody out. Cespedes struck out swinging in the second inning. And that one bounces away, and both the runners are going to move up. Coco digging around third. He stops there. So a couple of runners in scoring position for Cespedes.
Now the ball bounced, so it's going to be a wild pitch, but just the fact that the ball is in the dirt, Coco, and thinking, although down by 7, not really thinking too much about trying to score, but aggressively taking the bases, which Bob Melvin wants his runners running hard. And they have been doing it.
That one spins Cespedes out of the way, and it hit him. So the bases are going to be loaded. Let's see where it got him.
Left shoulder. As he tried to turn away, they wanted to go inside, and no, that'd be left elbow. He did brushed his elbow. Did not look like it hit it cleanly. Plus a little pad on his left shoulder or left elbow.
So here's Smith.
Cespedes got hit by Felix in Tokyo as well, so that little extra stare might have been thinking about the one to the west.
This one, first pitch, Smith pops a foul back. Smith had a base hit in the second inning. Crisp at third, Reddick at second, Cespedes at first.
Now, you want a grand slam, or you just want a base hit to keep the inning going? What do you want?
Base hit.
Okay.
You know how those rally-killing grand slams are.
I was waiting for you to say that.
The rally killer.
Led you right to it.
Can't believe he hit a grand slam.
And then you have to load the bases again.
Yeah, slow things down. A grand slam's not going to do any good here.
Just make it a 3-run game instead of a 7-run game.
Just a bit high. 2-1. We're joking. We'll take a long one. Suzuki in the on-deck circle.
Take another base runner regardless of how it works. Cespedes did good at bat last night in the pinch hit role, and EH tonight. Good solid single in his first at bat.
This one drilled to center. Saunders waits. Now he comes in. He's got it. It's going to be good enough to get the A's on the board as Coco Christ sprints across. Sacrifice fly for Seth Smith, and it's 7-1. Smith gets his second RBI. A soft line drive, maybe off the end of the bat a little bit.
Now that's the movement created by the pitch thrown by Felix to the outside part of the plate, and Coco able to score easily. Saunders not even attempting to throw to the plate. That's smart hitting by Seth Smith to again closing off the front side. Last thing we talked about a grand slam or just a single to keep it going. Last thing you want to see is a ground ball double play. They were going to give it up the run to get 2 outs.
So Suzuki steps in. Kurt hit a fly ball to center field in the second inning. Popped up. Olivo coming over. Seager coming over. Seager now backtracks a little bit, and he makes the catch, and the Coliseum just got Kurt Suzuki.
Well, 2 last night and 1 tonight for the A's, and of course Smokey got burnt earlier, but well, you hit a ball and you say, well, that's okay, it's in the seats, and then you realize where you're playing, and folks, that's what the extra foul territory here at the Coliseum does. Helps pitchers, hurts hitters, and in case the A's were hurt, Kurt Suzuki.
Well, we always talk about ball doesn't necessarily carry real well here at night, making it a tough place to hit at times. That's another reason why it's a pretty good pitcher's park. I mean, you think about just that out right there, first and second, 1 out. You say, well, how many times is a foul ball caught that is only caught here at the Coliseum? Well, even if it's 1 a game, depending on when it happens in the game.
And let's just remind you, folks, that the Coliseum is the only remaining multi-purpose stadium in baseball. And because they play football, they have to have the extra foul territory. The new stadium in Miami, small foul territory.
Sure.
I mean, you look at a lot of the spring training sites in Arizona where the A's train and there are 15 teams. Most of those parks have very little foul territory. So it makes a big difference.
Pennington pops it up. Kawasaki, the shortstop, calls everybody offside, retired. A's get a run on the sacrifice fly from Seth Smith, so we're moving on to the 5th inning. Seattle 7, the Athletics 1. Bartolo Colon is back out there after a tough fourth inning. When Seattle scored 6 runs on 7 hits in that inning alone. And Colon pushes Ichiro back off the plate.
Well, this is just a matter of the pitch count, and Bartolo Colon, it's not like he gave up a lot of hard shots. And I mean, if you look at the inning that the Mariners scored 7, the base hit by Ackley, then the misplaced ball, Smoke's ball would have been caught to one to right field, and Montero makes an out. It could have been a base hit to lead off and then 3 outs and no runs. There's a 6-run inning. I said 7. They have 7 total on the night.
So there's that defensive mistake that we've talked a lot about it. Misplay by Cespedes. Three and 1 now to Ichiro, who is 1 for 2. He is the hitter who hit that ball that Cespedes came in on and then had to get back, and it went off his glove. .70 pitches for Colon. Payoff pitch to Ichiro. That's lined to right, and it's a base hit. Second hit for Ichiro in the ball game. Here's our AT&T trivia answer. Bartolo Colon is 3rd among Dominican-born pitchers in wins and strikeouts. Which 2 players are ahead of him? Ray was right. Juan Marichal and Pedro Martinez. So Juan Marichal with 243 career wins. Pedro Martinez with 219. But look at the strikeout total for Pedro Martinez.
I think one of the great stories when Juan Marichal was basically a kid, and Alvin Dark was managing it, facing the Milwaukee Braves and Warren Spahn. And they were going head to head, getting the extra innings. I can't remember exactly how many, but Alvin Dark said, "That's it, one." And they said, "No, I'm okay, 1 more." So he pitches another one still. Warren Spahn's in there. Finally, Marichal said to him, "Hey, that old man's still pitching. You think I'm going to come out of the game?"
Yeah, didn't they go 16?
16 innings, yeah. I think you're right, 16. But just the fact that old man's still pitching. And
yep.
Warren Spahn, the winningest left-handed pitcher ever, 363, I want to say it. Juan Marichal, that high leg kick. Good man. Hall of Famer, of course. But Pedro was a strikeout pitcher, no doubt.
Yeah, 800 more strikeouts than Juan Marichal in his career. Bounced off the plate by Justin Smoke. Thought the big story today, Ray, in Major League Baseball was Jamie Moyer. He pitched today for the Colorado Rockies in Houston. Of course, Jamie Moyer, 49 years old, and he made the Rockies rotation, and he's pitching the 2nd game of the year. Now, he did not get the win today. In fact, Houston beat Colorado 7-3. But the next time that Jamie Moyer gets a win, and he will get a win somewhere along the line here, probably soon, he'll be the oldest pitcher in baseball history to get a win. He will be 50 in November, so he will pitch this season at the age of 49. Not today, though.
Well, he has to pitch again next year so he can pitch with the uniform on the back, which is the same age that he is. He wears the number 50. Well, I think that's
he always was 50. Yeah.
Right. And I would think the veteran status that he has,
I would say,
get whatever he wants.
I'd say he's got veteran status. In fact, the young man that pitched for the Houston Astros today, his name is Lucas Harrell. And his age when Jamie Moyer made his major league debut, which was in 1986, Lucas Harrell was 13 months old. They squared off today in Houston. 1986, Moyer started. Ichiro runs and the ball's fouled out. So Jamie Moyer with 267 career wins.
And I still think the greatest story too was about Jamie Moyer, and the Cubs said, we don't think you can pitch at the major league level. We'd like for you to be the minor league roving pitching instructor. And that was 20 years ago.
Oh, that's who he got to the big leagues with, I believe, was the Cubs.
Yeah, and they said, we don't think you can make it. And he just kept going. And I'd say he could win 300 if he could just keep pitching.
Runner goes again. Swing and a miss. And now Ichiro's going to try to get back to first, and he will. Pennington gunned it to Brandon Allen, and throw was a little wide, and it allowed Ichiro to get back. It is a strikeout of Justin Smoke.
Watch this perfect throw by Kurt Suzuki. Ichiro was going, and Kurt Suzuki laid a perfect throw. But Cliff Pennington, seeing that Ichiro stopped, had to hurry his throw. Threw off balance, a little sidearm. And very smart play by Ichiro. He knew he was going to be out by plenty because it was not so much a straight steal as it was running to stay out of a double play. And he's smart enough to see the throw go through, and a good one. And I'd like to see him continue up by 10 feet.
Montero drops a single into left field. So that's 10 hits now for Seattle after they collected. Mariners collected 13 hits last night. Bob Melvin's coming out, and he's going to make a change.
Well, the aggressiveness of Montero, pitch just up a little bit, not a lot of movement. So that's going to be the last pitch thrown by Colon.
So 79 pitches for Bartolo Colon, and a tough outing when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Jerry Blevins is in.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Bartolo Colon, 4 1/3. 7 runs, all earned, and 2 runners that he's responsible for. A tough outing for Colon. Didn't get a whole lot of help behind him. And the Mariners have 2 on, 1 out. Jerry Blevins facing Kyle Seager.
This could be a 1-0 game. Actually 1-1 if the A's would have still scored the 1 run last inning. But that's just the things that have happened in these last 2 innings.
Ichiro takes off. He is safe, but they throw behind Montero, and he's out. Well, that's a heck of a play by Kurt Suzuki. Ichiro Suzuki got a huge jump, and Kurt had no chance there. So he did the next best thing.
Well, he looked, and that's the main thing. He looked to see if Montero, because he was going to hit the trailing runner, and then came up, of course, blocked by the left-handed hitter Seager, but saw that Montero had drifted a little bit too far off first base. So a great, basically, pick-off by Suzuki, not a caught stealing.
2-0 now to Seager. So 2 outs with a runner at third. 26 games last year for Jerry Blevins. It's his second appearance so far this year. Seager got a fastball on 2-0, fouled it back.
There's a song about "Do You Know the Way to San Jose?" Jerry Blevins knows the way to Sacramento.
Yes, he does.
He spent a few trips there last year, back and forth between the A's and Sacramento. Never heard a negative thing come out of the mouth of Jerry Blevins with as many times as he went to Sacramento. And Johnny Dasco, who's filling in for Ken Korak, who we continue to wish well and for a speedy recovery from his knee replacement. But Johnny said every time Jerry Blevins showed up, he just grabbed the ball and pitched. And it's credit to Jerry. And here he is, the big leagues again. 3 lefties in the bullpen.
Full count now to Seager with a right-handed hitter, Olivo, in the on-deck circle. So Blevins would like to get Seager. Seven to 1, the Mariners lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Pop up, headed toward the seats down the left field line. Full slate of games in baseball today. We'll run through those as our ball game goes on. Seager again, foul ball. This one rolled on the ground toward his own dugout. The Rangers and the White Sox are tied 3-3 in the 9th inning down in Arlington.
Well, you have to hope good things happen for Robin Ventura in his first season ever of managing.
Jam shot toward Weeks. He's got it. Flips to first. Side retired. So the Mariners do not score. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Allen, Sogard, and Weeks. Sacramento, who are looking for the Sharks. Sharks taking on the Kings tonight. You can find that game on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, which can be found on Comcast channels 104 and 785. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to csncalifornia.com or call your local cable operator. Got it covered. See Sharks, Raiders, A's, Well, the one thing you should never do is tattoo somebody's name on your body.
That's true.
That's just a bad idea all around.
Yeah, Delaire Mom is not bad.
Yeah, that's true. Mom is not going to change. It's going to be Mom. It's
Matter of fact, David Wells did that exact thing.
One and two to Allen. Allen struck out swinging in the third inning. Lays off that pitch. 4 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. He has not walked anybody. He has hit a batter, and he's allowed 3 hits. Close pitch taken by Allen. Full count.
And according to the out-of-town scoreboard, the White Sox have scored around the 9th inning, lead the Rangers 4-3.
Yeah, Alex Rios hit a home run off Joe Nathan. Rangers brought Joe Nathan in with the tie game, 9th inning at home, which you do with the closer. Swing and a miss. So Allen strikes out for the 2nd time.
Come out to the Coliseum Saturday, April the 21st, when the A's celebrate the 40th anniversary of their 1972 World Series championship. 10,000 fans will receive a Raleigh Fingers bobblehead presented by Comcast Sportsnet California. Come be a part of the reunion and celebrate the Bay Area's first world title. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. That's the buzzard, Raleigh Fingers, with the handlebar mustache, and he's looking forward to coming that weekend for his bobblehead.
October of 1972, you were probably back at home, getting healthy from a long season. Had no idea.
Home was Cleveland, Ohio.
That's right. You were probably sitting back watching the World Series.
Yeah.
Probably not really all that interested. Little did you know.
No, and just
little did you know. March, right? That's when they traded for you in 73.
There it is.
Final out.
Joe Rody. And the world champions with Dick Williams and Norma's wife and Charlie Finley and his wife on top of the dugout, hugging and dancing on the visiting dugout at Cincinnati Riverfront Stadium.
Inside to Sogard, but with all the championships that have been won here in the Bay Area, that was the first, which is really amazing if you think about it. It was the first of 3 in a row, but as far as other sports go, the Raiders were just kind of getting started. 49ers did not have anything in the trophy case. Giants did not. Warriors did not.
Tennis last night throwing out the ceremonial first pitch in the home opener, and strike to Johnny Gomes. Gino will be a part of the weekend celebration in the 20th through the 22nd. There's the home runs in the first 2 at-bats at Riverfront by Gene Tennis, who caught the first 6 games and played first base the last game and never played first base until he got in the World Series.
Didn't slow him down.
Nope.
2 outs for Jemile Weeks. Weeks drives to right field. Ichiro's going back, looking up, and it is gone. Jemile Weeks with a home run, 7-2.
And a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and Jemile Weeks will not hit a lot. Mislocation by Felix Hernandez with a lever reaching back towards the inside part of the plate, and Jemile switch hitting. Of course, doing something Shaw would do if you don't hit a lot of home runs, and that's run hard. And not quite as far as Cespedes last night, but as Hank Aaron once said, just give me the front row. I don't care. They all count the same.
Coco goes after the first pitch. He's retired. A's get a run on the Jemile Weeks home run to right field. So we're headed to the 6th inning, 7-2 to Seattle. Hyundai tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It's a busy night, Bay Area Sports. Kate Longworth will have post-game report right here from the Coliseum. Sharks and Kings going at it down in San Jose, and right next door, it's the Warriors and the Nuggets. Bay Area, busy place tonight. The Sharks are in the playoffs. They're just trying to figure out what spot they're going to be. Are they going to be 3rd, 7th, or 8th? It looks like they're probably not going to be. They're not going to get that 3rd spot in the Western Conference playoff standings.
Congratulations to Robin Ventura. His first win as a Major League manager as the White Sox held on and defeated the Rangers in Arlington.
Well, if there's such a thing as a good win in the second game of the season, that is one for the White Sox. As Alex Rios, a leadoff home run in the top of the 9th off Joe Nathan to give the White Sox the 4-3 lead, and that was the final.
Robin gets the baseball, gets the lineup card, and first of many. And I think it's fitting that Robin Ventura gets his first Major League win managing against the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the White Sox, jokingly said Ventura, the only hitter that really had 6 hits from Nolan Ryan when he charged the mound, and he hit him 6 times with his fist. Remember, he took one for the American League. Nolan Ryan charged the mound against the Ryan Express. Ryan grabbed him around the head, just started bam, bam. 6 noogies, they called them. And so he gets a win, probably with the Hall of Famer sitting right in the box next to the dugout of the Rangers.
So they play that highlight at the stadium in Texas pretty much every night, but I guess they decided that they would not play it when the White Sox were in town, which is a good move.
They may play it tomorrow night, though, as they are the featured game, Sunday Night Baseball.
Olivo is retired. So that's out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. The Angels lost today as well. Kansas City 6, the Angels 3. That was a Dan Herron start.
I thought that was the biggest story of the day. They actually lost a game. And the Rangers on the same day. 2 clubs that spent heavily in the offseason, acquired players. Angels lost this afternoon, and Rangers tonight lose.
Eric Hosmer hit a home run for Kansas City. I do know that. It won't be the last one he hits this year.
No. So
the Angels lose and the Rangers lose, and you're right. I don't know that that's going to happen a lot this year on the same day. But Albert Pujols was 1 for 4 today. He was 0 for 3 last night in his Angels debut. As you saw, the Rays score 8-6 over the Yankees, so it's the second win for the Rays over New York. Baltimore beat Minnesota again 8-2. So the Orioles have won the first 2 games of that series. Ray mentioned that Cleveland game. Extra innings again. Indians lose again. So Toronto 2-0.
And Ubaldo Jimenez, who appealed the suspension given to him by Major League Baseball for hitting Troy Tulowitzki during a spring training game. 5-game suspension. He appealed it, so he was allowed to pitch today and had a no-hitter into the 7th.
Drive to right, and that baby is gone. Michael Saunders spins on one, and it's 8-2 Seattle. Well, the big guy got the bat head out there.
Well, one thing, Jerry Blevins, of course, is a lefty, leaving the ball middle of the plate, inner part, and of course the location, he knew he did not make the pitch he wanted to make. And lefty on lefty doesn't matter. Jerry trying to get at the outer part of the plate, and Saunders took him a no-doubter.
Here's Kawasaki, who had an RBI single in the 4th inning. Well, Saunders is trying to make an argument for sticking around, because remember, the Mariners at some point, maybe in the next 2 weeks, will get Mike Karp and Franklin Gutierrez back. Both those guys play outfield, and they're both everyday players, and they're both going to play every day. So we'll see if Saunders stays in the big leagues when those 2 guys indeed come back. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Tom Hallion says, Mr. Kawasaki, you swung. So that's out number 2.
Now batting, number 9.
See what Mr. Hallion saw. A lot of body went through, and just the top hit enough to go through, enough to.
I think that's a swing.
Yeah, he called a swing.
Here's Figgins. Well, he has been tough on the A's in this quick series. 3 for 4 last night with 2 RBIs. 2 for 3 tonight with 2 RBIs. In there for a strike. Detroit beat Boston 10-0.
Did I hear Detroit correctly that the 2 big boys hit 2 each?
You know, I saw Prince Fielder. Thought I saw that he hit a couple. I know Cabrera hit 1.
They went back-to-back once, and I know Fielder hit the 2, but that's a tough weekend. Blair confirms they both hit 2, and that's a tough weekend for the Red Sox to go against the Motor City boys. Comerica Park.
That was a Josh Beckett start today. Brandon Allen into foul territory, reaches up, makes the catch, side retired. Michael Saunders with a solo home run for the Mariners, and they now lead this game 8-2.
Cards.
Light Freeze Cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Josh Reddick leading off the bottom of the 6th inning, and he lines one to center field for a base hit. So Josh Reddick is 2 for 3. Looks like he can hit, right?
Yeah, he can. There's no doubt on it. And not surprising that Bob Melvin put him in the number 3 hole just to see what he could do. And smart hitter. He'll use the whole field. He has the power to pull the ball to right field. But he likes the opposite field as well. A lot of hits that direction. And just a very good hitter and a very confident hitter. As we mentioned before, he knows he's going to be in the lineup every day, and that in itself makes a big difference.
So here's Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes spins on a fastball and rolls it foul. Cespedes a strikeout, and then he was hit by a pitch. There's a fan down below us who is really barking instructions at Felix Hernandez, talking about what to throw and what to throw with a 6-run lead. I'm not sure what he's yelling at him.
He's saying, throw a fastball, you chicken.
He just did on the first pitch. This was not a fastball.
No, it's a good curveball there.
Cespedes is now 3 for 11 with the 2 home runs on the season. And he swings and misses at a pitch that was down. And 3 pitches, Cespedes strikes out for the 2nd time. So he has now struck out 7 times this year.
Well, the thing about Felix Hernandez, that's a very, very hard, maybe even a changeup, a 2-seamer, something hard. And he throws it like he's going to throw a 4-seam fastball, but bottom drops out, and I don't know that he can throw a strike in the 3 pitches to Cespedes.
No walks, 6 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez as he faces Seth Smith. Smith has had some good swings against Hernandez. Talking about Josh Reddick, though, Ray, it's interesting. Of course, he came over from the Red Sox, and the Red Sox got a very good closer in Andrew Bailey. Unfortunately, he's on the disabled list. It looks like the Red Sox have kind of a platoon out in right field of 2 names that are very familiar: Ryan Sweeney and Cody Ross. Carl Crawford is he on the disabled list? He started the season on the disabled list, but I think when he comes back, looks like it'll be Ross and Sweeney platoon in right field, which makes sense.
Carl Crawford had wrist surgery late.
That's right.
Thought he'd be okay, then ended up having the surgery, so he's slow to come around.
Pitch is high, 1-2 to Seth Smith. But it looks like the A's may have a very good young everyday player in Josh Reddick, and if you're going to trade a pitcher of Andrew Bailey's quality, that's what you'd like to get back. Maybe a building block with Weeks and Cespedes.
I remember when the A's finished the season, they had no outfielders. Sweeney was gone. DeJesus, Willingham. Coco ended up re-signing, but in the meantime, we went out and signed Johnny Gomes and Seth Smith, traded for him, and a whole bunch of outfielders. Cespedes signed. Colin Cowgill traded, acquired from Arizona. Coco wanted to stay on the West Coast and came back to the A's after a lot of the players left. You noted 15 off the September roster.
Well, you had a feeling Josh Willingham was going to go. He was going to get a hefty contract somewhere, and he did with the Minnesota Twins. You probably were not going to bring back David DeJesus, signed with the Cubs. He's leading off for the Cubs. Payoff pitch. And check swing by Smith. He does not go, and it's a walk. So 2 on 1 out for Kurt Suzuki.
Well, you know he's a good hitter if he's able to start 0-2 and then end up drawing a walk from Felix Hernandez. So good at bat again by Seth Smith.
So an RBI opportunity for Kurt Suzuki, who's 0 for 2, a fly ball to center and a pop out to third. Pop out was in foul territory. Kurt drives one left center field. Saunders on the run near the wall, and it is off the top of the wall. 1 run scores. They're going to wave Smith home, and the throw is wide. He scores. And it's a 2-run double for Kurt Suzuki, and just like that, it's 8-4.
Well, another double. He has 2 hits, 2 doubles off King Felix. This pitch up should have been hit as hard as it was. Daytime might have been a home run. Saunders running out of room, and watch this throw coming back in, and the cutoff. I think it was the pitcher cutting the ball off, and Seth Smith might have run through a stop sign, but as it came in from Kawasaki, watch this dive. That ball was going to the plate. Might have hit at the top of the mound or the back of the mound and popped straight up anyway, but Smith scoring from first, got a good read on the ball in left center.
Well, the A's have made it a ball game. It's just the bottom of the 6th inning, and here's Pennington. First pitch is up and away. And there is bullpen action. Lucas Lipke warming up. Pennington toward Saunders in center, and that's out number 2.
Seth Smith running around. Mike Gallego said, "Hold up. Nice knowing you. Keep running." They were together in Colorado. Maybe in Colorado that sign meant keep running.
So here's Brandon Allen. Maybe he can put a charge into one.
Well, unfortunately for him, he has faced Felix and has not had a lot of success, Tokyo or here. So it'd be nice from his standpoint to get into one.
Good pitch there, right down around the knees, and it's 1-1. But Hernandez kind of breezed through the first 3 innings, gave up just 1 hit, but the A's have made him work a little bit in innings 4, 5, and then here in the 6th. Allen way out in front. This one into the second deck.
A little bit more aggressive. Got the foot down and just too far out in front.
Nice block by Olivo. 2-2 the count. down the left field line, rolling way past the out-of-town scoreboard.
Ryan Cook is getting loose. He's normally the 8th inning guy for the A's, but the problem Kurt Young might be looking for is just to try to put a 0 up on the board.
Get back in the dugout and hit again.
Exactly.
Now that the A's have made it a ball game. And even this inning, we've made Hernandez throw a lot of pitches in. It could be that this may be his last inning.
Sogard, a left-handed hitter, could be his last batter, depending what Allen does.
Swing and a miss. He went off speed, and Brandon Allen, his struggles continue. He strikes out for the 3rd time. Kurt Suzuki, a 2-run double. It's 8-4, after 6. Eight to 4, the Mariners lead the Athletics. We have reached the 7th inning from the Coliseum. Here's our Farmers Insurance report card. Ichiro Suzuki, hits and average by seasons. Boy, look at those numbers. 200 hits all over the board, but 2004, that's the year he set the record. 262 hits in a season, most hits ever in one season in Major League Baseball history. But then down at the bottom, 184. So it was indeed a off year last year. Now, does that mean that he's slowing down?
No,
probably not.
See, no 200 hits, no 300 batting average, no Gold Glove, no All-Star. He did all those things the first 11 seasons.
Right. So we got a new pitcher for the A's. It is indeed Ryan Cook. Very impressive young right-hander. When it's time for change, big speedy oil change and tune-up, oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Ryan Cook takes over with the Diamondbacks. Got in the big leagues a little bit last year. 27th round pick of Arizona in 2008. And when I got to spring training the first week of March, I asked the manager, Bob Melvin, about some of the new guys. And you're thinking, you know, he's going to talk about Malone and Parker. And the guy you mentioned first was Ryan Cook. Yeah. He said this kid's got a chance to be really good.
Well, he has shown that. He showed it during spring training, made the club, of course, and he put him in the 8th spot, 8th inning out of Clovis, California. 8th inning guy, and that's made the decision to put Grant Balfour as a closer, Ryan Fuentes from the left side, and his hard-throwing right-hander Ryan Cook in the 8th inning.
Nice play by Brandon Allen. Spins around, flips to Cook in time. Ackley's retired. Well, Ryan Cook is, as Ray said, from Clovis. He pitched at USC for 3 seasons.
Now batting,
Teammates Brandon Allen and Ryan Cook, both of the Diamondbacks, lost his hat. So Brandon Allen walked him back to the mound. Kurt Suzuki once again meeting him on the mound. Nice play by Brandon Allen.
So 1 out here in the 7th. And here is Ichiro. Way inside. Couple of hits, including a triple tonight for Ichiro Suzuki. On the infield for Pennington. Well, the A's would love to quickly get back in the dugout.
now batting for 17, Justin.
So the cleanup hitter Justin Smoke steps in. Jerry Blevins won an inning and 2/3, gave up the home run to Michael Saunders, the only hit he gave up. A little over 16,000 tonight at the ballpark. And they'd like to see a big comeback.
Well, looks like Felix is going to go back out for the 7th. On Easter started, no activity in the bullpen.
Tough hop for Sogard. He handles it, and that is a 3-up, 3-down inning for Ryan Cook. Easter Sundays tomorrow. That gentleman getting an early start. 7th inning stretch, 8-4 Seattle.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Love bacon? Then try the new BLT Cheeseburger Combo right now at Jack in the Box for just $4.99 plus tax.
Felix Hernandez is indeed back out there for the bottom of the 7th inning. 94 pitches through 6. Nice bunt by Sogard, and he's going to have an infield hit. Seager tried to barehand. That's the only play he had, and he couldn't do it. Sogard with a hit.
On the first knock for Sogard, and a good one because Seager tried to barehand it, and even without the ball in his hand, figured he'd follow through with the throw. Nothing there to throw, though. Nice bunt. Good way to start the 7th.
So the A's scored 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th against Felix Hernandez. And now they got a runner aboard and go back to the top of the order, and Weeks takes a strike. Weeks with a home run in the 5th inning. this one driven to left. Playable for Figgins, who goes back. Weeks is retired, so he's 1 for 4. So that's out number 1, and that'll bring up Coco Crisp. So where Gio Gonzalez made his first start today for the Washington Nationals. He did that in Chicago, Wrigley Field. Well, the Nationals won that game 7-4, but Gio got knocked out early. He went 3 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 earned runs, and got a no decisions. Traded players. Gio Gonzalez, his first start. Is Trevor Cahill, who's going to pitch. What is he slotted to be their 4th guy for the Diamondbacks? So Cahill will not face the Giants this weekend.
Tough division. These at the top for the Western Division of the National League. The Giants hoping to do something against the team that won the division last year.
Dodgers should be better too.
That's right.
Should be a pretty good division. 0-2 to Coco Crisp. Talking to some of the scouts down in Arizona, and they did not think Trevor Cahill looked that good in spring training. Now, again, it is just spring training, and he's been around a while now. But they said the ball just was not moving the same as it did when he was with the Athletics.
And they do say that the ball does move at their home park, Chase Field.
Moves in the wrong direction.
Especially if you get the ball in the air, it moves quite well.
Yeah.
Of course, he was the ground ball pitcher when he won 2010.
Well, they may say, well, you know what, Brandon Webb had a lot of good years there, but your sinker better be working.
It's got to be.
2-2 to Coco Crisp. That one's into right field, and that's a base hit. Sogard is going to make the turn and then stop, which is a very wise move. So Coco Crisp has a couple of hits. He had a couple of hits last night.
Well, runner at first being held off speed, and that might have been the last pitch thrown by Felix as Eric Wedge is making the trip to the mound. And fortunately, Eric Sogard decided to stop because Ichiro Suzuki charged it rather quickly, and with his cannon, even at 38, it's good.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. They are trailing 8-4 and continue to creep closer. And This is the major league debut for the left-hander Lucas Luetge, 6'4", 200-pounder.
Yeah, 175 batting average against him, the lefty, so that's probably the reason he is in there to face this lefty, Josh Reddick. Felix Hernandez 6 1/3 innings tonight.
Luetge's first pitch as a big leaguer is a slider, a good one, in first strike. So you're right, could be a one-hitter appearance for Lucas Luetge. 6 1/3 tonight for Hernandez. Maybe not quite as sharp as we've seen him in the past, but leaves with the lead. Lucas Luetge was chosen by the Seattle Mariners, that's Delabar, in the Rule 5 draft in December from the Milwaukee Brewers. And that's the draft where take a guy from the team's minor league system if he's been in that system for what, 5-6 years. But if you take him, he's got to make your roster. Otherwise, you have to offer him back to the team that you took him from. In this case, Luetge has made the Mariners roster, and on 3 pitches, he strikes out Josh Reddick and shows off a pretty good slider. So Lucas Luetge should be happy with his major league debut, and he's going to enjoy it. One batter, and it's a strikeout, and there are 2 outs, and we're going to have another pitching change. So Delabar is going to come in and face Yoenis Cespedes with 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th.
With a couple of runners on base. When you're away from the Bay Area, you can't watch the A's on Comcast Sportsnet. You can take your team with you with MLB.tv. Subscribe today to see every A's out-of-market game live online in HD quality. Features include choice of home and away broadcasters, our broadcast, multi-game viewing with the Mosaic View, and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order MLB.tv baseball everywhere. And you can see that in HD right there, and I bet it looks absolutely
Absolutely what?
surprising.
Steve Delabar comes in, his 3rd appearance. We saw him last night, and he was pretty good last night.
He was perfect.
We were impressed.
5 batters, 2 strikeouts, including the first batter he faced was this young man, Yoenis Cespedes. And as we talked in, it'd be nice for him to have hit a 3-run home run to make it close. Same tonight. Because the A's are down 4, Cespedes with 1 long blast or a blast into the seats could make it a 1-run game. Delabar with a mid-90s fastball throws hard.
And that one, Olivo can't track it down. Both the runners move up.
The heads-up base running is Eric Sogard. As soon as the ball hit the dirt, he took off, even though the ball popped straight up, and Olivo cannot handle it. But secondary league, very good base running by both to get 2 guys in the scoring position where a little single or some sort of a hit. Could played a couple.
Delabar threw 19 pitches last night in his inning 2/3. 1-0 pitch inside to Cespedes.
No doubt the first breaking pitch called by Olivo with his hard throw on the mound as a result of the way that guy pitched, although not everybody's like King Felix. And a hard slider thrown by Delabar was in the dirt.
That would hit to center and hit well. Saunders going back. He's at the wall. That baby is gone.
Wow.
All right, he's my new favorite player, Ray.
He's a lot of favorite. Dallas played again because Dallas said last night, I've never seen a guy hit a ball that hard and that far, and he just saw it again tonight.
To right center.
Right center, and it is cool again, folks. 2-0 fastball. Take a look away from Yoenis Cespedes, and just like this swing makes it a one-run game. He didn't wait around. He got on his horse and started trotting, but that was a monster shot again. It was 7-0 one time, but Yoenis Cespedes, one swing on a 2-0 fastball, crushed it to right center. Big swing, but this time out of the box quickly. He knew it was gone. Watch him put his head down. He knew it was gone, and it was to right center. And folks, he went to left center last night. The wall stopped him tonight. Way up high above the 388. King Felix, 2 of those runs are his. Delabar gets the 1, but Yoenis Cespedes, and the ovation from the crowd here in Oakland. He's amazing.
Brian Fuentes is the new pitcher for the Athletics. So Cespedes so far this year, 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, and this is the 4th game of the year.
And he has no clue who he's facing, although last night he fetched Delabar. But the difference tonight, Delabar fell behind him last night. 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Well, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Fuentes in to face Montero, Seager, and Olivo. Check swing, roll, or foul. You know, I thought last night and tonight, Ray, maybe we saw the opposing pitchers trying to come inside a little bit more to Cespedes. But the one time they went outside, it just creeped back into the middle of the plate. And look where it goes. I bet we start to see more pitches inside on Cespedes.
Well, yeah,
probably starting his next at bat.
But I think also his power that he shows, when you go left center, which he did in Tokyo, left center last night, right center tonight. So it's not like he's trying to pull everything and opening up. And if you have that kind of power to opposite field, you don't have to do anything except just swing the bat if you extend his arms. But you're correct, because if he's extending his arms the way it is, you pitch him inside, he can't do that.
But he may spin on that. Who knows? His bat speed is so good.
Once he learns the league. Remember, he doesn't know. This is his 4th game.
Well, I thought Chili Davis, the A's hitting coach, said something very interesting in the newspaper this morning. Because everybody's talking about, well, Cespedes, he's going to have to make adjustments to the pitchers because he's young. And Chili said, well, you know what? Maybe the pitchers need to make adjustments to him.
Exactly.
And you just don't think about that, but it makes sense. Because he's hitting everything right now. I mean.
Well, I think tonight, and again, watching Olivo, when Delabar came in, the first pitch called was a breaking pitch because Felix Hernandez had really made him look silly on breaking pitches in the dirt. But not everybody is Felix Hernandez. And what he can do, a lot of pitchers can't do.
Two 2-0 to Seager. 1 for 3 with a run scored, and that one on the outside corner from Fuentes.
But you think where the ball went to left center last night and to the right center field area, up on that concrete batter's eye, up in the corner. I mean, that came close to hitting one of the suites in right center.
Down the line, trouble, but it's hooking foul. 2-2 the count.
I think also the impressive thing about Cespedes is the bat speed.
Yeah.
And Delabar throws mid-90s, and he got through with the bat speed unbelievably quick. I think he's having a good time.
Well, he's getting used to the cooler weather, too.
Like the ball is really being knocked down by this cool air, right?
Forget it. He's not feeling completely comfortable just yet. That's going to be a base hit to center field. Kyle Seager's 2 for 4. A's Baseball and Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Soaring away for big league cash only at Cache Creek. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. So 1 out base runner, top of the 8th inning. Selling the goodies. Missed by Olivo, who's 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the 4th inning. He also scored in that inning. That's the inning the Mariners scored 6 times. A's have trailed in this game 7-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. Then it was 7-1, then 7-2, then it was 8-2, then it was 8-4. Now it's 8-7. Wilhelmsen is starting to throw for the Mariners in their bullpen. Driven towards center. Now into right center goes Cespedes. He's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. See, there's your difference now. There's a decent chance that Miguel Olivo probably hit that ball fairly well. It was about 20 feet short of the wall. Cespedes' ball went up on the green backdrop by the luxury suites going the other way.
But Olivo's is kind of an inside-out, kind of sliced.
Yeah.
Cespedes was straight. Now this is kind of where the ball went there in right center. So you could say Cespedes scouting for it, gap to gap power. Yes.
Luxury suite to luxury suite power for Cespedes. It's okay for me to say I have a new favorite player, right?
Well, I think we all do. And the 16,000 plus last night, and the 35,000 plus last night.
I'm a fan. I want to. Runner goes. He got a big jump. No chance for Kurt Suzuki. Seager may have been going on first move, and he steals it to get into scoring position.
Well, the leg kick by Fuentes, and of course he was going to be throwing to the plate, and usually that's what happens. But Seager, unbelievable jump. Still like to see lefties, even though they're instructed, at least not instructed, to throw to first. When they lift the front leg and the guy takes off, freeze him and pick him off.
Pitch is high. Two 2-0 to Michael Saunders, who hit a home run in the 6th inning, a solo shot. So he's 1 for 3. And a couple of hits last night. Now 3-0. Kawasaki waiting in the on deck circle.
Well, the momentum for the A's and the 1-1, 2-3 in the last 4 innings, the scoring to make it a 1-run game. It's imperative that a 0 be put up at the top of the 8th inning. Cannot give the Mariners a chance to keep adding on and pad in the lead, especially the way the A's have come back. Home run by Saunders didn't help, as that added one more after it scored their 6 runs in the 5th.
Just a bit high on 3-1. On my scorecard, that says that's the first walk issued by A's pitchers tonight.
That's right.
Now batting.
That was close.
That was belt high. Unless it was outside, it was not too high.
So here's Munenori Kawasaki, another left-handed hitter.
And you'd have to think with 2 outs and no double play in order. Coco Crisp playing very shallow, but also Cliff Pennington can play in his normal position. That's the way Kawasaki has been hitting tonight. Just slapping the ball left side. Pitch him that way to where he can't do it, even though he tried the inside out swing to go to the opposite field.
Cespedes also shallow in center.
But with nobody holding the runner at second, that means here there's shallow, but still a good possibility for Seager to get a good jump if the ball gets into the outfield. I think Pennington is the key, because Kawasaki got the base hit to left field. He was shading a little bit more towards second base, thinking about a double play.
Swings late again. So 0-2 to Kawasaki.
Got to go back inside and up, and Kawasaki, kind of like Ichiro in his early days, just slapping the ball to the opposite field.
See if Fuentes stays with a hard stop. He does, and it's sliced down the left field line, but foul. Well, Ray, is this a situation where you see those swings and he looks pretty late? If you throw him anything off speed, you speed up his bat a little bit.
But you also have to really make the good solid fastball pitcher trying to pitch him away, play him away. And just concerned about a mistake, as shallow as they are in the outfield.
Again, hit foul left side. This one into the second deck. Now Cespedes has slid over toward left center field. Seager is the runner at second. Saunders at first. He lays off a fastball that was just a shade high. But a good 0-2 pitch by Brian Fuentes.
could also try to get a waist 1-2 slider hard away, just above the belt, and
got it. Went right inside on the hands. He gets the big strikeout. Couple of runners stranded. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Suzuki, Pennington, and Allen. A's down by 1. Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. For the Mariners, it was a 6-run 4th inning. Figgins knocked in a pair with a double. At that point, they had a 7-0 lead, but the A's started to chip away. Weeks with a solo home run in the 5th inning. And then this is the big blow. Yoenis Cespedes again. A 3-run shot off the batter's eye up high in right center field. It's his 3rd home run of the year. He now has 7 RBIs on the season, and it is an 8-7 game, bottom of the 8th inning. So the first pitch to Kurt Suzuki is in for the strike. 8-12-0 for Seattle, 7-9-1 for the Athletics. 6 earned runs allowed by Felix Hernandez. Tom Wilhelmsen comes in for the 2nd night in a row. When it's time for change, Big Speed Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil Change, Tune-Up, and Smog experts. 3rd appearance for Wilhelmsen. Last night he went an inning, gave up 3 hits and a run. He is the setup man. And he's going to get Kurt Suzuki on a fly ball to shallow right. Ackley's under it. He's got it. 1 out. Both these teams have tomorrow off, so they can use the bullpen tonight. A's will host the Royals on Monday. These Seattle Mariners will fly to Texas and start a 4-game series on Monday. And they will face Yu Darvish on Monday night down in Texas, so that'll be a big deal. Darvish's first start with the Rangers.
And what's really going to be special about that, it'll be against the Mariners and Ichiro, 2 Japanese-born players.
But that A's series right here at the Coliseum will be a 3-game set against the Royals. Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday afternoon. We'll have the Monday night and Tuesday night games for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. We'll get to see Tommy Malone on Monday night. We're looking forward to that. He'll face Luis Mendoza. Then Danny Duffy, young left-hander. Royals think he has a chance to be really good against Graham Godfrey. Brandon McCarthy against Bruce Chen. So there are your pitching matchups for A's Royals starting Monday night. Royals are in Anaheim. And they'll play the rubber game of their series against the Angels tomorrow. Easter Sunday off. We don't say that very often. Not in the baseball world.
Nope.
The breaking ball, nub toward third. Seager flips to first, and they just got him. It was a cue shot and a nice play by the third baseman, Kyle Seager. So 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
A nice play by Seager. Of course, the bunt that Sogard had last inning to start the 3-run inning, he could not handle. This one, though, very nice play.
So we're going to get a pinch hitter. Kila Kaiahue is going to hit for Brandon Allen. Tough night for Brandon Allen. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, all swinging.
2 tough nights against Felix Hernandez, because one in Tokyo, he struck out twice, and then leadoff double, tried to bunt and popped it up. So he's 0 for 6 against King Felix. A lot of guys are, though.
Yeah. So Kaiahue, who had a couple of hits last night, gets a chance here in the bottom of the 8th. Got lots of power. And you see Williamson, a big overhand breaking ball.
Well, if you're looking at your scorecard, Cespedes hitting 4th. The A's need a runner or 2 to get him to the plate.
Fastball and a good swing, Kaiahue. The Mariners will have the top of their order in the top of the 9th.
Chip Hill and Bob Melvin, bench coach and manager, looking at the lineup saying, okay, what do we need to do to get this King back up?
Big breaking ball, swing and a miss. So Tom Williamson has a very nice 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're going to the 9th. 1-run game. Mariners 8, A's 7.
You will lock in the lowest price on tickets. A's season tickets allow you the flexibility to customize your own plan. Choose premium games when the A's take on the Giants, Red Sox, and Yankees, or go for some of the season's popular fantastic promotional dates like our popular fireworks games. Lock in and save today. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit oaklandathletics.com/season tickets. These guys are making me dizzy.
They're ready. ready to go. Grant Balfour comes in. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Balfour comes into the game, and he just wants to get a nice 3-up, 3-down inning and see if the A's can win it in the bottom of the ninth. It's 8-7. The Mariners leading the Athletics. Balfour will face Figgins, Ackley, and Ichiro.
At the bottom of the ninth, trailing with Brandon League on the mound. Only with the 1-run lead, the A's are hopeful that will be the case.
Third appearance for Balfour. Throws a strike. Only one other game still going on, and it's down in San Diego. The Dodgers and the Padres are tied 5-5, bottom of the ninth. Quite a few day games today. Oh, 2 to Figgins, who is 2 for 4. Double and a triple. The Mariners have 12 hits in the game. The A's have 9. Just missed. Brian Onora took a look at it. May have been a touch outside.
Well, this is our high home and just off the plate. Good call by Onora.
2-2 pitch is hit right back up the middle. Balfour takes a look at Figgins. Sean Figgins is 3 for 5. Well, A's fans, introduce the debut of Oakland A's, the Tokyo Experience. Don't worry, because CSNBayArea.com has you covered. From the Tokyo Dome to karaoke to youth camps run by the A's players, we indeed have you covered. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long. Check it out. Leadoff single for Figgins, and here's Dustin Ackley. Ackley is 1 for 4. First pitch right on the outside corner, strike. League in the bullpen. He's been throwing. Now he's just standing on top of the mound, so he's ready to go. Another good pitch, and it's 0-2.
I have to be concerned about Figgins at first as League getting set for the bottom of the ninth. He's hopeful that his club can add some insurance runs. The A's hope that is not the case, but Figgins, good base stealer, and Balfour needs to be quick to the plate.
Ackley hanging in there.
That's so quick. He quick pitched him.
Figgins inches off, does not have a real big lead. The pitch is outside. You were talking about Ackley's swing before, Ray, and he is a good hitter. But some guys really don't take much of a stride at all. He has a very large stride. He closes up, but if you look at how far he strides on his swing, it may be even a little bit more than most people. So not only does he close up, but he also steps forward toward the pitcher.
Well, it has to be disciplined enough to know the strike zone, because with his movement, he's thinking of swinging all the time with every pitch. Great block by Kurt Suzuki, and that's a big league block, because that definitely would have put a runner in scoring position.
2-2 to Ackley. Figgins inches off. He's not going anywhere. And it's bounced toward Weeks. He charges. Flips to Pennington on the first. Got in time. Very close.
hard hit ball. Weeks with a flip back to Cliff Pennington, but that's the speed of Ackley and also the speed of Figgins getting down quickly onto Cliff Pennington.
Now batting, number 51.
Pennington knew he had to unload it quickly, but that's exactly the speed of Ackley, and of course Figgins doing his job. What's on the parachute kite? What is it?
Balloons are parachuting down over the stadium as Ichiro hits. It's interesting.
Looked like Jemile Weeks thought about maybe tagging Figgins and then throwing the first, but that backhanded flip, you don't get a lot on it. That's what we're talking about. That's a baseball. That's a huge baseball.
That's how big the ball looks to Cespedes right now. He's hitting.
That's right.
Remember, there was softball, and then there was the 16-inch.
That's right.
The big one. Never quite understood playing with 16-inch softball. 1-1 to Ichiro Suzuki. That's low. So in the bottom of the ninth, Sogard, Weeks, Crisp. If anybody gets on, Reddick. If two guys get on, Cespedes. Ackley has a very big lead, and he takes off. Ichiro takes a strike. The throw is there. Got it.
As good as it can be done right there, folks, because Ackley got a tremendous jump. And Kurt Suzuki, one of his better throws, you will see. Jump by Ackley, but Kurt Suzuki came up in a perfect throw and a quick tag at second by Jemile Weeks, showing the second base umpire he tagged him, and he did. Got him on the thigh, ball in the glove. Nice play, Zook. That was huge. Now score two.
Ichiro's gone, and we are headed to the bottom of the ninth. Let's make it exciting. 8-7 Seattle. Well, an exciting ball game tonight, and the A's are trailing 8-7. It is the bottom of the ninth inning, and it's Eric Sogard to lead it off against the Mariners closer Brandon Lee, whose first pitch is inside. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Third appearance for Lee. He's got a save. He pitched last night in a non-save situation. pitched an inning, gave up a hit, no runs, and threw 14 pitches.
On the last at bat by Eric Sogard, he led off with a bunt that started the 3-run inning. A great bunt, followed by the Cespedes home run. Well, it's a 3-run shot. Coco Crisp also had a hit in the inning. He's got to take a strike. Probably will.
Inside, not close. 3-0. Sogard will be followed by Weeks and then Crisp. After Crisp, it's Reddick. Right in there, first strike.
Probably will take another strike. All Sogard's trying to do is get on base. And it means that he has to throw 3 strikes per league. May have to try to force him to do that.
He does. Takes the next one in first strike. 3-2.
Expect it to be another fastball. If he throws the splitter or something, you just try to hold up, because the splitter is usually going to be a pitch in the dirt.
Popped up, foul territory. Seager over and just into the seats. Well, it was 7-0. It was 8-2, and the A's have stormed back to turn it into a heck of a ball game. Payoff pitch again, and a good swing by Sogard. That ball was up and out over the plate. He fouled it straight back.
The thing that you normally would have to figure, that as much a league does not want to have the leadoff hitter get on base, and he doesn't want to walk him, that he would just keep featuring fastballs, and that helps the hitter.
Another fastball at 94 miles an hour.
The thing is, he does have a good enough fastball that he can use that pitch, but would have to think, if he's thinking about the splitter, the concern would be not only throwing it for a ball, but if he gets a swing, can his catcher catch it? Stop it. Bob Melvin would like to have the choice with the runner on base, what to do with Jemile Weeks to bunt him over, try to get him in scoring position.
Left center, and Figgins is there. He's got it for out number 1. Sogard is retired.
Well, he got too much of an uppercut on the fastballs instead of hitting down for a line drive, and good comeback by Lee to get him out after starting at 3-0.
So here's Weeks. First home run of the year for Weeks came in the 5th inning. That one just a bit low. Weeks hit a couple of home runs last year for the Athletics in his 97 games played. Good pitch on the outside corner, and it's 1-1.
Well, here we go with our Tommy Cam, and that was questionably close. A lot of movement going away from the left-hander. Comes the splitter.
So 85 miles an hour on the splitter.
Now this is the pitch thrown by Felix. Again, a mistake that was supposed to be away from Jemile, that ended up more towards the middle of the plate. It's That's why most home runs are hit usually on mistake pitches. And that's exactly what has happened tonight.
Lays off that one. That home run at the time made the score 7-2. And the A's got 2 in the bottom of the 6th, 7-4, 3 in the bottom of the 7th to make it 8-7. And that's where we're at right now. Two pitch to Jemile Weeks. Sliced down the left field line. Figgins racing over into foul territory. Slides up against the sidewall. A good effort by Figgins. Cannot come up with it.
Well, you got to hit the ground quickly because that's concrete at the bottom of the base, and he just banged his right knee into that concrete, sliding hard, and then not much you can do is the pad has about 6 inches coming down, remaining from the ground up, and it's concrete. Splitter again.
And Weeks hangs in there. So you're talking about a 9 or 10 mile an hour difference between the splitter and his fastball, and that's where the adjustment is real tough for a hitter.
And that might have been a tough one for Olivo to block. But ideally, if the pitch starts down low and you can see any tumbling on baseball, then it's going to go at it again. That's when you try to lay off the pitch when it's down low.
Grounded towards short. Kawasaki was playing just a shade towards second base, and he makes the play. So 2 outs, and the A's need some base runners. So it'll be up to Coco Crisp to get aboard.
Left fielder, number 4, Coco Crisp.
So the first pitch to Coco Crisp. And Coco skies one to left center. It's going to stay in the ballpark, and the Mariners are going to win the game. So Brandon League gets a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning. And the A's fight back, get close on the Cespedes home run, but they come up just a little bit short. So this 2-game series, both games go to the Seattle Mariners. Tonight the final score is 8-7. So the A's made a valiant comeback. They were down in the game 7-0. They were down in the game 8-2. And thanks to the Cespedes home run, they got 8-7 but could not close it out. In fact, looking at my scorecard, Ray, after the Cespedes home run, the next 7 and the final 7 A's hitters went down. So obviously a little momentum after the home run, but the A's could not build on that. And they got close. They did fight back. The Cespedes thing was certainly exciting, really exciting. But in the end, it's an 8-7 loss.
Yeah, that's too bad, because as we look back and again throughout the game and you see the 6-run inning and the way it all developed, the misplaced ball by Cespedes, as big of the home run he hit, that misplay kind of set up the whole inning for the Mariners to score big in that inning. And it could have been really could have been one hit the leadoff, and the next 3 batters could have been out. But Colon gave up the runs, and that kind of, you figure if Felix Hernandez gets a 6-run inning, it's going to be hard to come back. But give credit to the A's for doing what they did and coming back to make it a 1-run game, and just hoping to get somebody on base to make it exciting in the bottom half of the ninth.
But boy, Cespedes, what a start.
Yeah.
He's played 4 games. He's got 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and so home runs. But how about the distance? I mean, these balls are just bombs. Watch this one. This is last night.
This is Vargas last night. He admired this one. It hit above the sweets in left center. And tonight, he just went the opposite field. This is an impressive thing tonight, going the way he did to right center. Almost the same distance, up above, just below the sweets. And of course a 3-run home run. So you look at Cespedes, a solo in Tokyo, a 2-run shot last night,
3 straight games,
3-run shot tonight. I was hoping 3 guys would get on and see if we could hit the slam and just So you have to think that maybe Monday night when he hits a home run, it's going to be a grand slam. But he's got a lot of talent. There's still some things in his game that, again, we saw tonight, defense in center field, but he's just learning the game. He's only played 4 major league games, and he is putting on a show already that I'm sure a lot of people around baseball are impressed by.
And Bartolo Colon gets knocked around. He was terrific in Japan, but as you said, the Cespedes play in center field certainly hurt him. And, the A's are going to have to make every play if they're going to win a lot of games this year. But at least the offense has shown that it looks like it's going to have the ability to score some runs, and I think that's important.
And if you score 7 runs in a game, you should win it. And tonight it just did not happen because, unfortunately, the Mariners scored the 8th.
So the A's will take tomorrow off, Easter Sunday.
Right.
Have a happy Easter Sunday, everybody.
Absolutely.
And we'll get back to work on Monday when the Kansas City Royals are in town. Once again, the final score from the O.Go Coliseum tonight, Mariners 8 and the A's 7. We'll be back with you Monday, 6:30, the A's and the Royals on Comcast Sportsnet California. For my broadcast partner, Ray Fossey, our producer, Delaire Lures, director Tom Ads, I'm Glenn Kuiper saying so long from the Coliseum. Once again, the final score, the Seattle Mariners 8 and the Oakland A's 7. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group. See you Monday night, everybody.